Christ once for all. Welcome to Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan. You know, the book of Hebrews is a powerful book. Even though we don't know who wrote it, it's a powerful book talking about the fulfillment of Old Testament prophecies and the great sacrifice of Christ to bring about our redemption. And I searched in the New International Version the phrase once for all, and I found 5 hits, and every single one of them is a powerful truth, and I thought I'd share them with you. Well, the first one is in Hebrews 7:27, when the writer says, unlike the other high priests, he does not need to offer sacrifices day after day, first for his own sins and then for the sins of the people. He sacrificed for their sins once for all when he offered himself. That's right, Jesus was our sacrifice. It's really easy to preach on every one of these, but I just want to mention that was that once for all sacrifice. He starts in 7:27 saying that, and then a couple of chapters later in Hebrews 9:12 he says this. Speaking of Christ, of course, he did not enter by means of the blood of goats and calves, but he entered the most holy place once for all by his own blood, thus obtaining eternal redemption. Wow, what a picture. Talking about the once for all sacrifice, going through the most holy place and getting that eternal redemption. Oh, the great purchase of our salvation. How powerful is that? Okay, and then the same chapter down to verse 26 in Hebrews 9:26, he's in the middle of a discussion when he says, otherwise, Christ would have had to suffer many times since the creation of the world. But he has appeared once for all at the culmination of the ages to do away with sin by the sacrifice of himself. So he personally took care of getting rid of the sin, right? How powerful is that? Well, the next one is just as powerful, but it's right in so deep in the discussion that it requires it really mentioning the verse in front of it so that we get the full context. And so I'll start reading in Hebrews 10:1, and our verse that we're focusing on is in the next verse, verse 2. The law is only a shadow of the good things that are coming, not the realities themselves. For this reason, it can never, by the same sacrifices repeated endlessly year after year, make perfect those who draw near to worship. Otherwise, verse 2, would they not have stopped being offered? For the worshipers would have been cleansed once for all and would no longer have felt guilty for their sins. Oh, wow. Isn't that powerful, right? First he does it, right? He sacrificed their sins once for all when he offered himself in verse 27, and once for all in the most holy place, once for all by his own blood, and then once for all at the culmination of the ages, right? Doing away with sin by the sacrifice of himself. And here, the guilt is gone, right? As the old song says, I came to Jesus weary, worn, and sad. He took my sins away, and now his love has made my heart so glad. He took my sins away. Wow, all of these verses are so powerful because they're talking about the redemption that Christ made for us, and he didn't have to do it even twice. He did it once for all. Well, there's one more. It's in 8 verses later in Hebrews 10:10, and it says this. And by that will, we have been made holy through the sacrifice of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. Oh my goodness, right? The effect of that redemptive purpose makes the Christians holy, gives us his righteousness. Oh my goodness. If you belong to Christ, there's 5 powerful assurances right here in the book of Hebrews. 7:27, 9:12, 9:26, 10:2, and 10:10. That for whosoever believes, we have the assurance that we have that he has achieved our salvation for us once for all. Kind of makes you think you don't have to try so hard because the work has already been done. Romans 10:9 and 10 says, if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus Christ and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved. What a promise, what an assurance. And with that belief, we know that the sacrifice is sure and certain as long as we want to be redeemed once for all. Thanks for watching Bible on the Go, Dr. Dan. If you like these videos, the best thing you can do is hit that button called subscribe. I appreciate everybody who's subscribed and who keeps watching and who keeps sharing. It's making a big difference and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Praise God.